everybody, welcome to Bravely Being Yoga. I'm Beth, and we're here to do a very brief reconnecting practice that I hope is something you can actually take with you and use when you're at work, or when you are coming down from a panic attack, or when you have just experienced a fight with your significant other or with a coworker. This is something that I hope you can kind of learn in your body and use in lots of different settings. Okay, that's why it's fast. That's why it's small movements. That's why we talk through what we're doing so we understand what it's for. As always, please consult your primary care physician and your mental health provider before participating in any of these videos, right? So I invite you to stand with me. This stuff also would work if you're sitting in a chair, but we're going to practice standing, and then you can take it out with you and use it in a way that makes sense in your world. So if you would like to join me, we might keep our feet hip-width apart. That just tends to feel more comfortable for my body. And we might let our hands just gently rest by our sides. If it feels comfortable and safe, we might let our eyes float closed. If it doesn't, as always, we can keep them open, okay? But we're going to start with our hands, okay? And we're going to just check in with our hands first, and we're going to do a little bit of progressive muscle relaxation, a little bit of contracting and releasing to let our bodies let go of maybe a little bit of what's been pent up so we can reconnect with ourselves. Okay, so just with our hands, we might just take our hands and close them into fists, okay, for just maybe a count of 3, an inhale and an exhale maybe, and then we release them. Let's try it again, okay, so maybe we squeeze those hands into fists, 1 breath, and then we release it, right, maybe a little shake, and let's try one more time. A nice fist, nice clenched arm, feel those forearms with an inhale, and as we exhale, we release them, okay? Maybe a little shake, maybe even a little bit of a massage, okay? Just checking in, just noticing the sensation, letting our bodies kind of guide us, and as we feel ready, maybe we bring those hands back down. Same thing, we're gonna actually do that kind of movement with our feet, okay? So if you'd like to join me, maybe we take those muscles in our feet and we contract them. It's hard for you to see, but maybe we just bring some tension to our feet for an inhale, and as we exhale, we just relax those feet into the floor. Maybe that brings a softening in our knees, and let's try it again. So we inhale and we kind of clench those muscles in our feet, and as we exhale, we press those feet into the floor, relaxing those feet into the floor, maybe even imagining that we're standing in that sand, right? That's at the edge of the ocean, that wet sand. One more time, let's inhale. We let those feet really tighten, and as we exhale, we release them into the ground. And so maybe we can stand comfortably and notice what that's like, what our hands and our feet feel like specifically. And as we start to slow down just a little bit, we can check in with our breath. And maybe we bring both of our hands kind of to that sternum, maybe to our stomach, maybe to our heart center. Let's just notice for a minute that inhale and that exhale, expanding all the way down into our diaphragm, and exhaling, pressing that air out. And as we feel our feet pressing into the floor, sinking into the floor with that nice micro bend in our knees, and that inhale and that exhale expanding and contracting in our core, maybe we just float our mind back to that place of disconnection and just notice that we can stay with both. We can be grounded in the moment right now while we let our mind float back to that thing that was bothering us. Because what's true is that we are grounded. We are here. We are practicing together. We are inhaling and exhaling. We are noticing our feet sinking into the floor. We're noticing that tension that was released from our hands. We're noticing that deep breath. And as we feel ready, maybe we float those hands back down. Maybe we float those eyes open, okay? So we're going to kind of add just a little bit more movement into our bodies and bring a little bit more balance. Again, very brief. We're going to start with something called a modified balance pose, a modified tree pose in yoga. We're going to actually put all of our weight onto one foot. So I invite you to join me. Maybe we keep our hands on our hips if that feels comfortable, or maybe we bring them to heart center. Lots of different variations here. All we're going to do is we're going to bring that, for me, it's my left foot. I'm going to bring that foot and just tuck it in right here with my heel pressing into my ankle. And do you see that little wobble? I've had a little bit of a wobbly day. I don't know about you, but even that little wobble, just that much, I'm noticing what it feels like to engage my core, to plant my toes into the floor, my heel resting on my ankle, and just checking in here. And for those of you that aren't familiar with yoga poses, this is actually the start of tree pose, which is the pose you see people doing where they bring their foot up high and it's balanced on their leg, right? But what we're doing is we're just reconnecting, right? So we are feeling that knitted feeling in our core, noticing what it feels like to be balanced, and feeling that little ebb and flow, that little float, that little tipping off balance, and bringing ourselves back to center. If we're feeling extra crazy, maybe we even close our eyes. And as we feel ready, let's float those eyes back open. Let's switch sides. So we'll plant that left foot for me down into the floor. We'll bring that opposite foot, that right foot here, tucking those toes into the floor, pressing that right heel into my left ankle, right? Knitting together at the core and feeling that balance. And as always, we have choices in yoga. If you're like a serious yogi and you're really ambitious and you want to move into a full tree pose, be my guest, go for it. For me, this is all I need today, right? I am reconnecting and I am just noticing what it feels like to find some balance, to feel reconnected with the floor, and then kind of growing up out of the floor, reconnected with myself, my own body. Maybe I float those eyes closed to kind of check in and notice what that feels like, to really feel it internally instead of checking for cues with the outside world. I really can feel that play in my own system. Maybe I flutter those eyes back open. Maybe I come back to a nice standing position and just check in again. We're still here, all right? Let's try one more thing together. If you'd like to join me, we might take a nice wide stance with our toes pointing just a little ways out towards the corners of our mat and our heels facing in. Again, as always, this is totally optional. Maybe we stay right here. Maybe we stay in a little bit of a power pose, right? There's some research behind some of these positions in our body and how they bring some life into us. For me, I'm actually going to hinge at my hips into a forward fold. So that might mean that you want some blocks, might mean you want some books or some pillows or something to kind of bring the floor up to you. Feel free if you choose, to just hinge at the hips, maybe resting your hands on your own legs and staying here. Maybe that's it. Maybe if it feels like it would be good for you today, maybe we bring those hands all the way to the floor or to our props that we've brought in. Maybe we release that head all the way down. No right or wrong, just whatever feels really great to our bodies. Keeping a nice little micro bend in our knees. We're not locking out our knees. We're not pushing ourselves beyond where we need to be today. We're just reconnecting with this core. Maybe after one more deep inhale and exhale, on that next inhale, maybe we start working our way up. Maybe we plant our hands on our legs. Maybe we bring ourselves all the way back up to standing. And once again, let's come back to that neutral position here with our feet hip width apart, checking in. Maybe we bring our hands back down in this nice, comfortable mountain pose. Maybe we bring those hands together at heart center. Maybe we float, our eyes closed, or maybe we leave them open. And once more, let's just check back in. So we came here to reconnect. We came here to learn a couple of skills or tools that we can take out with us to reconnect outside of our classroom setting, our yoga practice here. Yoga is everywhere. You're doing yoga when you're being mindful at any point. So maybe this is something that can be of service to you. I would love for you to try it next time that you feel that panic rising, next time you feel that trigger. next time you're coming down from, feeling very dysregulated in your body, very disconnected, maybe just try one piece. Try a gentle forward fold. Try that nice progressive muscle relaxation, that tense and release. Maybe try just the breathing, bringing your attention to one part of that breath. And just notice what it's like, guys. It's these little tiny victories that build up over time, right? I'm so proud of you. I think you're amazing. Keep it up. Can't wait to see you again next week. And, as always, take care of yourself. I'll see you soon. Namaste.